Alright, so we are starting our trip heading on Highway 89. The reason we decided to take Highway 89 is because there was a special event that took place just up this canyon right here. This is Weber Canyon, as you can see right over there. It's pretty rainy and cloudy today. But just up that canyon is a place called Devil's Slide. And that's actually a pretty historical place because there's Devil's Slide Bridge that crosses over the Weber River. And as Durant was traveling over to meet up at Promontory Point, over at Promontory Point, the bridge was actually almost underwater. So there was tons of water flowing. The bridge was not safe. It had washed away some of the trusses. And that is why engine number 119 from the Union Pacific was the actual engine that showed up at the Golden Spike, or the laying of the last rail, whatever the heck you call it. We're gonna find out all the other history as we go. So so just up that canyon back there, that's where that happened. We're now heading on I-84 over to Promontory Point in the Golden Spike National Historic Area to find out all about this wonderful event. Alright, so even though the trains are put away for the year, we got special permission to go out to the warehouse and take a look at the engines. So we're driving out there right now. It says authorized personnel only, but the park ranger cleared us to come out here. So we're gonna go check out the engines. I don't know which way we're supposed to go, but we'll find them. What's that?
It's how the train works.
What's going on here? Explain it to us. Alright, so both these trains are actually replicas. They're not the real trains. They were built to scale, or as close as they could get to scale. There weren't any plans or anything like that left behind, so they built them to closely to scale as possible. This engine right here, that's 119, that's what we were talking about. This is the Union Pacific's train that actually filled in because Durant couldn't get his train across the Devil's Slide Bridge. So that's where this guy came in and helped out. They're pretty cool. I don't know what the story is behind that mountain man, but I'm sure there's a good one. Alright, so we checked out the trains. Those are pretty dope. And now we're heading back over to watch a little film. But look at this. Look what we found over here. How cool is that? There's just tons and tons of coal. It's amazing that those trains can pull so much weight and go across the freaking United States on coal. Pretty sweet. Alright, so we are making our way out to where the last spike was driven. This is like a competition, if you didn't know. Each side is trying to get to their side faster than the other. And yeah, You're laying a lot of rail. So we're gonna go out and see if we can see some of these golden spikes. All right, we found it. This is the last tie laid in May of 1869. I'm gonna turn this way so the snow doesn't go on the lens. There's already a little piece that went on there, I see. Great. Well, it is freezing cold, but we're about to go watch a film inside that talks a little bit more about this. We don't know a whole lot. I do know, though, that thing up there, it's for the telegrams to come through. All right, so we know we didn't give you the best optimal tour out here. We don't really know a whole lot about it yet, and that's why I have to go learn some more. So, we're gonna go watch a film, and then we'll tell you everything we've learned. It's just too cold to stay out here. And they were here in May, which it would be a lot warmer.
Becoming a park ranger was not something I was intending at all. And just for fun, I volunteered at a state park in central Arizona near the town of Sedona called Red Rock State Park. So that would have been 1997. And they taught me this concept called interpretation. And it seemed like a big word. But what's funny about it, what it means is actually relaying information that is digestible to a general public, and knowing your audience, who they are, technical things. So things that are scientific, things that are really didactic and historical, to actually package it in a way, verbally or through publications, in a way that's going to be somehow meaningful to the audience you intend. But that's the benefit of actually being a park ranger, is to actually have to sit down and read books and to learn from your coworkers, and it feels good to have knowledge, but meaningful knowledge is probably the most important part of it. 419 national park sites across the United States at this time, and a few of them are National Historic Sites. They're usually an area of small acreage, and national parks in general all have the same mission to preserve and protect places of national heritage. So certainly history is going to be pretty important for our national heritage. Golden Spike here, as it turns out, is apparently one of the most important places in American history, United States history, because we were called the United States since, I think, 1776, but there wasn't unity. So United wasn't an appropriate name for the country, not yet. But once you have a transcontinental railroad where people can travel across the nation in a couple weeks rather than half of a year, and also at the same time you're building a transcontinental telegraph system, well faster than the Pony Express, you're now sending messages at rapid speed. You now have the real foundation to create a continental type of unity, a continental nation. And eventually, I mean, a lot of the sense of being American today as a world power, it's going to begin May 10th in 1869, the wedding of the rail ceremony, just 70 yards behind you there. We think of these steam engines as being like magic, just incredible, the possibilities. Industry, it really was an important part of our heritage, and we felt really good about it, but there were consequences to industry. So I think probably in a historic park, it can be controversial to talk about politics and certainly religion, but those two human conditions kind of have to be talked about if you really want to make this park and history to be meaningful, to have some sort of a purpose for us today. History holds important lessons, things we don't want to ever do again, and some things that we did right.
All right. Well, we didn't end up watching the film because we talked too long with Rob. But we just want to say thank you to Rob. He was an amazing help, and we learned a ton from him. Some of the key points that I think I really took away from this whole experience and being able to go out here and visit the Golden Spike is just that the railroad in itself, there were a lot of bad things, or there's a lot of bad connotation that kind of goes into the railroad and the hell on wheels mentality, where you have just a lot of ruffians and kind of a motley crew of people all together. But even though all that took place, and the Indians that they fought against, and the freed slaves and the Chinese people who were used as labor, I think one takeaway is that the meeting of the railroads really kind of brought the United States together. Whether you lived on the West Coast or the East Coast, it kind of united the United States, and really brought us together. So we thought this was awesome. It is in the middle of nowhere, but it was really cool learning all of the neat facts about the area, about what occurred and what took place. And it definitely is something everyone should go see, and is a really important part of our history, because it's almost a culmination of everything that had happened previously, all throughout history. So really cool adventure that we took here. We're glad that we were able to meet some really interesting people. Rob was definitely one of them. We really enjoyed meeting Rob and talking with him. We talked for about an hour or so. But yeah, that was our adventure to the old Golden Spike Historic Area site.